Can you tell us a story, please, about how the judicial, legislative, or executive branch affects our community?
Sure. One of the things that I think is really important is that everyone has the ability to vote. It's really important that everyone participate in the voting process. And I had a case a couple of years ago that dealt with a voting issue. It dealt with Native American people that live on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. And they live in a county right here in Shannon County that's one of the poorest counties in the entire United States. And many of the people there walk to get from place to place. They don't even have a car that operates. Their county government doesn't have an auditor's office like all of the other counties in South Dakota. So if somebody was going to be gone on election day and they wanted to vote, they had to go clear over to this other county, which is Fall River County, and vote at their auditor's office. And the distance between Hot Springs, which is the county seat there, and Kyle, clear over here, is 113 miles one way. It's 226 miles round trip. And for a lot of people, they didn't have the money to get over there to vote if they weren't able to vote on election day. So back in 2002, the federal Congress passed a law called Help America Vote Act. We call it HAVA for short. And they gave monies to states so that states could help people vote. And the case that I had dealt with some Native Americans that lived in Shannon County that said they wanted some of that HAVA money to be spent so that they could vote in their own county, that they didn't have to drive all the way over here to Hot Springs to vote. The county government wouldn't do it on their own, and the state Secretary of State's office wouldn't spend the HAVA money so that they could do early voting in this county. So they brought a lawsuit in federal court, and it ended up, we got both sides together of the lawsuit, and the state auditor agreed that that HAVA money could be spent so that they'd open up an early voting place right here in Shannon County so that Native Americans that lived on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation would be able to get someplace to vote before election day if they were going to be gone or wanted to have the convenience of voting early. And everyone agreed, and they opened up the early voting place. So to me, that was an example of both Congress addressing a problem and then the judiciary working on the same problem to make sure that people that wanted to vote had the opportunity to do so.
From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked. The Congress and the President have been entrusted with much, namely the responsibility to govern this country. The American people rightly expect us, regardless of party affiliation, to come together, especially during times of crisis, and find ways to get things done. They're understandably fed up with the current dysfunction, and I am too. Each side thinks it's winning, but in reality, the country and the American people are losing. Senate Chaplain Barry Black says there's a level of insanity involved in the current government shutdown. Asked what it would take to end the current impasse, the former Navy chaplain said, "It's going to take humility." Wise words. Proverbs 16:18 says, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall." There is too much pride poisoning this debate. The American people should be the winner, not one party or the other, not the administration or the Congress. Short-sighted political victories aimed at capturing the latest headline in a 24-hour news cycle will not stand the test of time. nor will they be viewed well through the lens of history, especially if on our watch the trust that must exist between elected officials and the electorate is frayed beyond repair.